Right, so AoE speedrunning. So I'm just going to say like a little bit about myself. I've been running this game since 2014. I started off with really bad, but slowly got better, pretty much. I've been also playing this game since 2000, so pretty much from release. First thing I'm going to do is just say that hopefully, if this makes YouTube, I will put the links of when I'm talking about what certain stuff in. So when I'm talking about easy world records or easy levels to run, harder levels, etc. I'll put links there so you can have a look. So why am I making this video? So AoE speedrun is kind of getting a little bit bigger, let's just say, or more people are getting a little bit more interested in it. So this might be due to pretty much Ornlu's how to speedrun the campaigns. Very good. I recommend watching that as well. He goes through what you need to do on every level, what his strats are, and he gives sort of an ending conclusion. Very good videos. Also, that T West did some cool pacifist runs of the campaigns, which is also very interesting. So I'd also recommend that. Also, this does use some of the speedrun strats because pacifist routes are very similar. If it's quickest, we will use them. I'm just also going to give a shout out to some of the OG speedrunning guys, Tay, Dave, Bellum, OG Sci-Fly, Bing You Die, and there's a few other names I've probably missed, but yeah, they've been keeping the scene kind of still going even through all these years. So thanks to them. Right, I'm just going to quickly show you an old school leaderboard. I will link the videos for Ornlu and T West as well in the description. So this is an old level. This is Attila 1 from the original AoE. If I do obsolete runs just to show that you can get better, like this is my time 5 years ago, it's very bad. But then you can see that over time I did get to some sort of competitive time that practice and stuff will get you to improve. So always look for something to improve on, maybe better micro, macro, etc. Just something to look towards. The rules for AoE speedrunning, we gotta do rules because people will get confused what's going on. So if I click on a level, click on the Battle of Stirling, actually that's probably a bad example because William Wallace works a little bit differently because you may play on a slower speed. Let's go with the Rising. Let's view the rules. So I'll leave this on screen while I talk about it as well. So we have to play on the fast speed. So this is one of the things we need to look at. So we play on fast because obviously it's a speed run, we want to go fast. We say we set it to fast is required because we use in-game time, right, to time the levels. So because it's in-game time, if someone played on slow speed, they could probably do maybe micro, macro decisions a lot easier, and then it would be an unfair advantage. We play on fast because that was the quickest game speed you could use in the original AOC and Age of Kings when it first came out, the original game. So this is why we play on this. I know that HD had ×4 and ×8, but we still played on ×2 or 2.0. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. We use the in-game timer, which it does say there as well. If I pick a campaign quickly, you obviously will go into the level. You can change how this views at the top by hitting F11 to cycle through. This is the one we normally run on, and you can see at the moment by default we're on normal speed. You can edit this by changing it in here somewhere to fast speed. Game is it? Game fast, and then use the hotkeys for it is the plus symbol and the minus symbol on your numpad by default to change the speeds. So what I normally do on a run is I would start the level, I put it on fast speed by clicking plus, click F10 or the menu, click restart, and then every time I restart this level it will remember that I set it to fast speed, like so. Okay, that's one of the rules. So you're probably wondering, wait, why is this? There's two lists of runs here. So in this leaderboard we have standard mode and hard mode. So easy difficulty and hard mode. 99% of the runs are done in hard mode because I don't know, we've always just run in hard. It's sort of the default way to run on the hard mode. There is a standard difficulty. Some people are submitting runs, which is good, to standard, but I think if you're going to submit runs to standard, I would try and make sure that it's competitive to the hard equivalent. That's anything I say, because I feel like people could, I don't know, upload a 40-minute time on full of Rome, and then if you compare it to the 15-minute on hard, it doesn't really add up in my head. But if you want to just do some runs on standard and just put your name on the leaderboard, I ain't going to stop you, I guess. Enjoy. If you're having fun speedrunning, get involved. Another rule was that we need to ensure that we turn off, is it turn on VSync? Turn off VSync. Enabling VSync. So this is to ensure that you get 60 frames per second. Because obviously if you have more than 60 frames, it causes the in-game timer to sometimes do some weird stuff, is how I think about it. You can't pause while you're playing. You can buffer inputs while loading in. So that means when you're loading into a level, I was just doing this actually in a speedrun. I'll quickly show you what that means. I'm going to head to any level with a TC, and I know that this one has one. What this means is I'm hitting my town center button before I loaded in, if you could hear it ding ding in. And I could spam the build villager button before, so that I've queued villagers before we've started the campaign. That makes sense. So that's what it's called by buffering inputs. You could do this with a stable, etc. if you had a hotkey for a stable, etc. So hopefully that makes sense on buffering inputs. It doesn't lose or save loads of times, but sometimes if you're on a level that maybe only has a second to save, buffering those villager inputs might save that bit of time. Okay, let's go back to here. Is there any other rules we want to talk about? Not really. So in-game time, the way to go, and you need to ensure that you show the statistics screens at the end of the level. Okay. And there's some extra game rules here which are just obvious. Okay. So I will also talk about that, like that line just said, that sadly we are playing on a game that is always adapting, right? Because they're the let's talk about, let's say the Celts got a nerf recently, that they don't get the movement speed on their infantry in Dark Age anymore, and all these sort of game changes does affect this campaign, sadly. So some of these runs will be hard to beat because of the changes the devs have made to each of the civilization. There's a good example with Razia 5, Tariq, Razia, level 5 of Tariq. I'm trying to find Tariq. Struggling, here he is. This actually had a glitch in it which has now been fixed. At the moment it's still the run, so you're probably thinking, well, no one can beat that time anymore. We have on speedrun.com, we also have a resources page where you have you can down patch your game to the original release of the game. Okay, so that will put the triggers back to how the game originally had it. There's a guide here by Bellum if you need them. Cool. I will also just talk about all games. So we do all campaign runs sometimes. So I'm just going to try and find one. Sunjata? Someone run Sunjata? Yeah, so we got a Sunjata run of 2 hours, which probably not very healthy time, but this is done by real time. You would need a split timer, live split on your screen while you do these runs, okay? So that's full campaign. You would have to do Sunjata 1 to 5 in a row, okay? Or whatever campaign you're doing, or if you're going to do all campaigns, you better buckle up, because I honestly think that would take 20 plus hours. If you did all campaigns, but yeah. Okay, so we spoke about the leaderboard quite a bit. Let's start talking about how you're going to record it. So people, I'm just going to say that I use OBS. There's loads of other applications out there. Upload to Twitch or YouTube and then link it to speedrun.com. You can just make an account here and then link your videos and submit times. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to show people how to use OBS because there's plenty of videos and stuff to record your gameplay if you need to do that. So, cool. That's all you need to know about that. Hotkeys and control groups is key. So if you have a good understanding of hotkeys, that would be really good. And control groups, obviously for moving between groups of units quickly. So that's important, but not needed. So I'm going to start talking about some of the levels. So let's talk about So let's talk about A to B levels. So A to B levels is what I like to call like Agincourt, Barbarossa 5, and Joan of Arc 1 is good examples. I've got a brilliant little idea of how this works. A to B levels work like this. So you go to A to B, okay? So I won't save that one. So shall we look at Joan of Arc 1? Watch Tay's run. So this is Tay's run, and he has some lovely pictures over here, but we won't talk about them. You know it's a Tay run when you have anime on, okay? So it's an A to B level because you need to get Joan from A to B. And there's not a lot of time save. These are good levels for people to get involved in because they're very easy to run, but then they can be quite grindy at the same time. So quite boring levels, but can be easily accessible for all players. Let's say that. So anyone could do these sort of levels. So that's an A to B level. There's a few other levels I want to talk about. This is the one that I call Kill My Allies. So some of the levels have a ally that will betray you at some point, and if you've already killed them, the level will end. So my example is like Francisco number 2 and Dos Pilas. Let's look at Francisco. So we got a list of all the campaigns here, so I've just got to quickly find it. Francisco's from the African Kingdoms, and I've got the Lion of Africa, run by me. 8 months ago, so this could probably be improved on. Based on how old it is, I'm sure there's probably some small improvements to be made. So how this can be improved is literally I come to Red's castle and I build mangonels and I kill his castle. Before, even though this isn't the objective at the moment, killing his castle with mangonels will force him to surrender because the ending trigger of the scenario is that his castle's been defeated. So after I sit here and mangonel him for the next 2 minutes, excuse me, and he will die and we win. Nice and easy, right? That's what I call a kill your allies level. So that's my 2 examples for these sort of levels. So these are good for people that don't have awesome, say, macro. They don't involve too much, but they're quite easy to run. That's good stuff for, say, newer players. Okay, so let's talk about a level. Say you've been playing for years, you have good hotkeys, you play multiplayer, you have a good understanding. Let's talk about some levels that can really challenge someone. So I'm going to talk about Alaric 4, Attila 6, Tariq 2. So we go to Alaric 4, Giant Fools. This level is difficult. You have to kill 10 castles, and there also is a achievement for this level with defeating the 10 castles before 30 minutes. So this is a hard run, but if you want a challenge and you want to beat this time, go for it, because this is a difficult run. So it's always good to watch the current record if you want to get some inspiration of what strats you want to use. So destroying the 10 castles is very difficult. Especially to do it quickly. So this is Alaric 4. Recommend if you think you've got the skill and and everything like that, you can do it. I have a fairly good. I'm okay. I'm not great, but macro seems okay. Got a lot of knights queued, even though there's 5 in 1 there. You know, little improvements can be made. So deciding whether to go for pikemen or not. So this is a good level, very good level if you want to test yourself. So Alaric 4, the one where you destroy the castles, is a good level. Also, my other examples were Attila 6, Fall of Rome is kill all the wonders in a certain order and bring Attila to Rome. And Tariq 2 is just painful and can be improved. Let's just say that. Okay. Boomer levels. I've got some boomer levels in here. If you want to build an economy and destroy something or build something, these are the levels for you. I've got a lot of the Forgotten here. We have York. So Battle of the Forgotten. Right here somewhere. Patrick. Okay, here we go. York's my example. So we got York. Bukhara. There's a few on Rise of the Rajas, like Gajah, Mada 3 and 4. There's a few like that that you could do if you want to just boom and attack. Let's look at York. York's my example for this one. I won't go in depth on these levels because I will link in the description if you want to sort of look yourself. So with York, you will boom and you will kill Yellow's castles and TCs, and you will then build a wonder where their fortress once stand, like so. So very easy. So it's sort of a boom and attack level. So you boom up to 80 vils and then you go and you start with nothing in the feudal age. So this is what I call a boomer level, because you boom. So that's boomer levels. Like I said, Gajah Mada is a good one. There's 3 and 4 of those one. Campaign 3 and 4 of Gajah Mada, or Bukhara is another good one. Right. This is for the pros, right? So you have micro, like Hera or Leary or any of the pros. Viper as well. I shouldn't leave Viper out. And you really want to test yourself. I've got this. So this is Sforza 1. I actually will show this whole run. So this is done by me a little while ago. And we will just explain what this means. So I'm zoomed in at the moment as well, just to help with micro and macro. So instead of actually continuing with the level and escaping Braccia, I'm actually using micro, sorry, to defeat every unit. We have 9 units, and I'm pretty sure you have to kill 40-ish units. And if you see what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to garrison, ungarrison units to debate the AI. So it's very intensive, this level. So this is a good one. If you've got insane micro and you can do all that sort of stuff, I would recommend this one. This one will really test you, I hope. You have to kill every blue unit. Like so, I'm going to skip on a little bit because this is how it goes. We're in and out. And then eventually you've killed enough units that you can leave that area. And you can slowly clear out the rest of the city. And then once you've killed all the units, I had 2 cavaliers left, and you would win. So, very difficult level. Other levels with high micro, obviously Joan of Arc 5, which is obviously the Siege of Paris, and Pachacuti 3, which is you have units, a small economy, and you have to fight your way up the mountain pass. You kill your brother at the top in Pachacuti, that is. Pachacuti 3. Okay, what about your really... Yeah, you really want some pain. You want to run a level that you're really going to hate and it's going to bring you a lot of pain. So Late Poyang's very boring and has a lot of pain. Bari 4 is another good example. If you don't do the start correctly, the Red Teutons will destroy you. Indochina. I've used Indochina as the example. Indochina is a hard level and people always go back to it. So Genghis Khan, Indochina. I did this in 28-16. It involves a castle drop. It involves killing a lot of villagers. It involves a lot of stuff that will make you not very happy very quickly. Because if one thing goes wrong, it's a reset, and you have a long intro, because the intro is obviously taking control of the engineers. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to go right. So, Indochina, if you want pain of a scenario, yeah, crack on with Indochina. It's a difficult level. So that's my example for I Want Pain. And now I've got like sort of a bit of a funny one to talk about. So this is what I've called Stop Talking Chaz and tell me how do I get a world record on this time. Okay, sure. You want to get your name up here forever, right? I have just the level for you. Here we go. So Dracula, the moon rises. Okay. Beating Dracula. I'm actually going to load this up. Beating Vlad Dracula, the moon rises, is on a set timer. So if you win this level on hard, on fast speed, you will always finish with a time of an hour, in-game time of an hour and 26 seconds. Why is this? Well, it's a set timer, not sent to conquest. So we have to defend the 3 castles, and if you're playing on hard mode and fast mode, you will get this WR. So it's not on conquest, so you can't kill everyone. And even if you could kill everyone, there's a horse in the mountains that you cannot kill. You do not get trebs in this level, so you cannot kill this horse. So even if it was on conquest, there's no possibility to kill all your enemies and do it faster. So if you want a free level, beat this level on hard, on fast mode, and you can tie a record and get your name on the leaderboard. There you go, that's my cheat for you. If you want your name up there, just beat this level hard and fast. Right, also another level we can talk about is there's one other level that you can tie. It's Tamerlane 6, but it has a very difficult start. You have to kill many units before. You have to kill a lot of people to get this ending. You have 30 minutes before the ending sequence starts. So if you defeat all your enemies by that time, you need to kill. I think it's the guy right at the bottom. Is it red? Oh, blue. You have to kill the Ottoman Empire, and once these are dead, you kill them before the time limit, which is here. I have a minute left. You will win at this exact time, 23:07. So it's a hard level, but at the moment I don't think there's a way to beat it any quicker. Okay, so that's Tamerlane 6. Okie doke. So hopefully this makes sense. I don't know if I've missed any big things that I need to talk about, but I would recommend checking out the Speedrun site. Literally just speedrun.com AoE2DE, and have a look through some of these levels. There's plenty to choose from, and there's plenty of them that are unoptimized is probably the best way to put it. So there's probably some time you can save. So I'm hoping that sort of gives you a good insight. I will put anything I've missed in links in the description, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments or ping me a message wherever you can find me, and I do my best to ask them or answer them. There's also a forum on the site if you do want to ask questions, you can ask here. Yeah, so hopefully that's good. Good luck on your grinding.